Welcome to Don Bosco Youth Network. I'm your host presenter for today, Patrick. So today we enter into the world of talents. We want to know what really talent is and how we can use our talent for God's work and the community. Don Bosco, in his life, he helped the young people to discover their talent and to nurture them, and he also helped them to showcase their talents to other people in the world. Let's get to hear what the Vibers has to say about talent.
So there are a lot of ways in which you can discover our talents, and I feel one of the most important ways is understanding who am I, my personality, and the things that come easy for me when I do, the things that don't give me struggle when I try to do. I think in that way it's easy for me to know, to say, I think this is really for me or not for me. Also by asking family and friends, because the compliments that come from our family and friends, they actually tell us where we sit in the talents, or rather the gifts that we have. So in that way, it will be easy for them or for you to know once they tell you the things that they feel you are actually good at. You can also try and volunteer doing different things, because other people are multi-talented, so it's also about trying to venture into different things by volunteering. Then at the end of the day, it's easy for you to know, to say, I think this really sits well with me. Then also there are these childhood dreams, or rather the childhood gifts, the things that we did when we were children. I feel kids really know what they want. It makes them feel some type of way. So it's also about a background check on yourself, trying to go way back to your childhood, saying, what was I really good at? Maybe that really would be something for you. So going back to your childhood memories and seeing the things that you felt good at, the things that you did when you were a kid, can also help you discover your talents. Otherwise, there are a lot of ways in which we could discover our talents, but I feel the most important thing is by trying.
The community as well has got a role to play in supporting the talents for the young people. So number one, the community has to provide mentorship program, where you pair up these uprising young people with talent with those who are professionals in talent, so that when they get to interact with them, they get to learn from their lives, some of the challenges that they face. Because many other times young people, they feel when you have a talent, it's going to be a smooth way for you to discover it and for it to grow, but there's some challenges that they definitely have to go through. And if you pair them with people who are like professionals, they'll get to understand life on a clear picture. And then also the community has to support the young people financially. We've seen a lot of young people with good talents, solid talents, but due to finances, their talent just went to waste because they are unable to fund their own projects. They're unable to go, maybe you're a good singer and then you're unable to go in the studio to sing your album, and so they just end up drinking alcohol, abusing drugs because there is no finances. So the community has to play a role. And when we talk about the community, it's not only the government, but it is you and me to help these young people to grow their talent. And apart from that, the community as well has got a role to provide recreation facilities that would help these young people to be busy discovering their talent. Imagine a community with facilities where young people go to discover their talents. Maybe there's a place for people who sing, there's a place for people who do acting in one community. And this would be really impressive to see such in the community. And so it begins with you and I.
So when it comes to talents, let's say if you have the talent for fitness, you can easily get into the youth ministry and then begin to have different sessions with them and then exercising. I usually call them heart and soul, because when you're actually doing your exercise, you also talk to God, you also worship Him in music as you are carrying out your fitness programs. And the other thing is, if you're a dancer or maybe a writer, I'll say them all together because they a little bit correspond, because there's always an aspect of scripting. If you're a dancer, you can choreograph young people in church so that you can worship and dance for Jesus, just like the way it is written in the Bible that there's one person who actually pleased God with his dance. And when it comes to the writing aspect, why not writing certain scripts so that they can be used? And if you have the public speaking talent, you can easily preach. give different sermons and talking about Jesus every time. So let's make use of our talents, and let's make sure to say our talents are used for a betterment of the future.
Some of the talents that the young people they can try to think of, of course, there's a lot of talents which are common, and the world is moving so fast on the speed. And with this invention of AI, we're going to find maybe somebody thinks I'm a singer, but there will be some computers that will be singing for you. And so a talent itself with a definition is not, it is a gift, but apart it being a gift, it is something that is unique. It is not something that is common, and it's actually the thing that defines you. It makes you unique from everyone. And so I encourage the young people, while trying to discover your talent, think of something that is unique, something that is not common, and something that would sustain you. For example, a lot of young people nowadays, they want to be footballers, they want to be playing netball, they want to be singing. But you can even think of how you can create something on your own, in your own name, Let's talk about the person who created this search engine, Facebook, the one we're using social media today. It is just somebody who created social media and was still using it now. And even if a person dies, it's going to be something that is going to be continuing. We'll remember that person. So I actually encourage young people to look up to something that is going to be your legacy, something that we're going to remember you on. We already know Patson Daka. We already know, James LeBron, we know him, but we want to know something, bring something new on the market. We want to see young people in Zambia creating their own vehicles. You can even come up with a talent for making a car with water. It's possible. What makes it possible is your mind, what you tell your mind. And so we change the way we think, where we go through our mind, and then we're going to be brilliant in our thinking.
Our talents are meant for us glorifying God at the end of the day. So also our talents, even the roles that our talents play in the church, I think apart from the singing part, there are a lot of talents that we have. Some of us are good at showing up for people. And some of us, our talents are maybe organizing things. It might not really look like talents, but these are like gifts that God has planted into us. And us organizing other people, especially we who are young, organizing young people into following the path of God, that can also be something that we do that helps us to please God in the things that we are capable of, in the gifts that God has planted into us.
There you hear it yourselves from the Vibers. Don Bosco, from his life, he shares with us a moment where he met the young boy Bartholomew Garelli in the oratory, where he was chased from a sacristan because he was entering the church. And he asked the young boy, "What can you do?" And the young boy said, "I can only whistle." And that is when the oratory began. To our listeners, there is always chance for you to discover your talent, no matter how many things, it can be one, it can be two. But out of that one thing, a talent may develop from you. This has been the Don Bosco Youth Network, and from us, it's a bye-bye, and do not forget to click that button for subscription.